This is Pradyut from Asian Confluence, and today's episode of Groundspeak, we have with us a unique, fun, and a creative personality from all the way Indonesia, Mr. Puthut. Mr. Puthut is an excellent eco-printer. He designs and handprint clothes using sustainable and natural elements like leaves, flower, and petals. Puthut, with his talent, has traveled across the globe to showcase his work. He has organized fashion shows at various international destinations like Australia, India, Europe. Presently, he is the chair of Association of Indonesian Ecoprinters, where he promotes sustainable fashion industry. His achievement does not end here. He is also a lecturer of English and an excellent singer and a performer. He often performs in his class to make the learning joyful and interesting. Mr. Puthut, welcome.
Hi everyone. Thank you, Pradyut.
Mr. Puthut, so we start this our round of interview. So, can you
Mhm.
tell us, our audience, more about your background, what inspired you to start designing this eco-friendly clothes, and also, if possible, shed some light on what is eco-printing and how does it differ from the traditional clothing production method which is out there?
Okay, so hi everyone. It's nice to be here, and I feel honored. First of all, what inspired me to start doing these eco-friendly things was I was actually not a designer, used to be, but I loved the traditional fabrics of my hometown. When I've been working with textiles for like more than 10 years, and I started to use that textiles for my fashion show. And in 2017 I thought I had to have a signature on my design, which is coming from the textile itself, so it's not designed by other people, but I myself designed the textile. So I started design the sort of tie-dye using the chemical substances. However, in 2018, a friend of mine introduced me to the eco printing techniques, and that was the start of me thinking, wow, this is something. It's not just about the technique or the cloth or the textile, but it's actually being very impactful to our environment, which previously I never thought of it. So I started to think that why not I start to have this fully eco-friendly fabric for my designs. So that's the start when in 2018 when I had to deal with the tie-dye and also the eco printing. So starting from 2018, I started to produce all tie-dye and also eco printing using the natural dyes, the leaves, and flowers around my area. And eco printing is actually not only done using the cloth, but it can be used on paper, on leather, and on bamboo, for example. It can, but mostly I'm using it for cloth. And because I am using it for the design, yeah, ready to wear materials, and how it differs from any other traditional clothing productions, because in my country, batik, as you know, the most famous one because it exists years ago. Batik used the wax, used the process of designing and then blocking and then washing and then reprinting again. But here we use the natural fiber. That's a must, and the natural resources like flowers, like wood, like the leaves, and also the made them into the natural dyes. So the process is not just dipping into the natural dyeing process, but it used probably pounding. Yeah, you pound the leaves, or steaming, or boiling. So to me, this is so much simpler, yeah, compared to when we do lots of batik making process.
So, uh, the you explain the process of the your eco printing and batik. So it sounds
Hmm.
like uh, it is quite difficult to do it on a large scale, right? Or is it
Yeah,
like
right.
so? How do you see the
Yeah.
future of the sustainable of this fashion evolving, the eco printing fashion?
Uh, when I had lots of discussions with colleagues and with my members in the associations, we actually are facing challenges in finding the right customers
Hmm.
because we know that sustainable things is now in the concerns of most countries, especially we are now in the process of reaching the sustainable development goals by 2030, right? However, we know that it's going to happen, right? We know that the earth is now crying. The earth is not okay at the moment. So I know that if I do it myself, it's not gonna happen. It's never working. But if me and with all the members, I have around 1,300 members all over Indonesia who are concerning in the eco fashion, yeah, sustainable fashion. So if we all work together, I believe only one step. If we do it all together, it's going to be sustainable. So this is what our belief in our associations. If only one person do it, then it's not gonna work. But because we do it massively, well, we're going to reach the destinations sooner or later. Especially now we have the SDGs in 2030 that we need to reach the goal. So
Hmm.
uh, I know that using the chemical substances is so much easier, but we never thought of the impact on our earth. We never thought the impact on our society. So if we're using the sustainable resources, like the plants, flowers, and all of it, then at the same time, we have to preserve the plants. We have to breed, or we have to plant the plants, flowers, and etc., so that to make that resources available. So this is like, mutualism, right? It's like a wheel that always run.
So
Hmm.
eco-friendly and sustainable is definitely a growing concern,
Yep.
something which everybody has to focus. But at the
Yes.
same time, there is a cost factor is involved. So does the eco-printing reduces the cost to the consumer, or where does this cost factor falls in? How does it play in the eco-printing?
Yeah, so because I mentioned earlier, we are facing the challenge in finding the right customers because
Yes.
of the cost productions. Now
Hmm.
we're using the natural fiber. Natural fiber will cost more expensive compared to the normal fibers. Say for example the one with the microplastics, yeah,
Yeah.
all of those things, that's gonna be a lot cheaper. But what we do in our eco printing associations is we also educate our customer. So the
Hmm.
education process happens during, when they bargain, when they're looking at the fabrics. They know that it's very soft. They know that it's very distinctive, and that's how we tell them that yes, because we are using the perfect fabric, because we're using the fabric that is produced from the waste of the cotton seed. It's not even the cotton, you see.
Yeah.
So this is now we are educating them. So in their mindset, we are expecting that they will understand that this is something which is not common, you see.
Hmm.
So hopefully with these educations, they will understand that our cost of productions in making this sustainable product is actually higher compared to the common products.
Yeah. So also the one more question is like little similar to my previous question. So like
Mhm.
the to ensure that the cloth, the fashion, it also appeals to a broader audience, not to a set of particular audience. So
Right.
are you working on something on that aspect of the matter?
Yeah. So at the moment, we have some trainings for our members to use the digital platform to
Hmm.
reach a broader audience. Yeah. Not only that, we are also encouraging our members to work with the local governments, so the local governments will have the policy. Like for example, in my city in Yogyakarta, the local government has made a policy for all the civil servants. They must wear in during 1 week. They must wear the eco printing fabrics. So which means this one is going to be helpful for the artisans of the eco print, right? Mm-hmm.
So like they are creating a market similar to what
Yes.
we are doing in India. Like we are
Yes.
promoting the natural khadi material.
Right.
Yeah. So this another question is, so uh, you from Indonesia, I'm from India. So we have both have a very rich textile tradition.
Mm-hmm.
You also attended one of our program in Calcutta, where you showcase your work. So during this like exploration, have you found any commonalities or a difference between the two culture that may have influenced your design or like
Uh,
anything?
yes. When I was in Kolkata, trust me, I love being there. I love the people, very friendly, and I love the culture. And India is not something new for Indonesian, right?
Yeah.
Because we have been watching Indian movies since we were like, even if since I was born. Since I was born, my parents exposed me with all the Indian movies. So it's actually very close to our cultures, yeah. Especially the design, yeah. And to be honest, in the nation, we love something like sparkling, like in the costumes of Indian dancing and etc. Something sparkling, we love that as well, right? So what I'm highlighting here, the commonalities between India and Indonesia is probably we are rich in having this textile culture, right? And lots of India cultures on textiles actually are brought to Indonesia.
Hmm.
Say, like in Jogja, for example, in my city, there is one street where Indian entrepreneurs, Indian businessmen, all owns this textile, where we get our fabric for Ecoprint. You see, so this one is something in common that we love the textiles. And uh, has it influenced my design? Yes, actually it has. So what I brought when I had this fashion show in Kolkata, I designed a 6 meters length of sari, and that
Oh.
is that is like the longest 6 meters that I have been done for eco printing, because it involved 6 people in doing that, you
Hmm.
know, in spreading all the fabrics and then folding it and then tying it up and then steaming it, right? It was almost 3 hours to steam, so to get it done. So I was thinking it's gonna be perfect if I made this into sari with the nature of the fabric, which is like silk, but actually cotton. It's very soft and smooth, and it was perfect when it was worn by an Indian girl at that time. So I was thinking, wow, this what is it? Culture backgrounds that I was putting in my design was actually amazing. Pradyut.
So basically, you took the sari from India and the design and the printing of Indonesia and merged it together.
Yes.
So, oh wow, so that that is very
six
interesting.
meters. Six
Oh,
meters.
that
Yeah.
also 6 meters. It's like almost
Yes.
4 times of what the usual sari is.
Right.
There are like even the I think we were discussing also like there is this very similarities between the type of clothes we wear, the similar climate condition we share,
Right.
the lungis the men who wear, and there's a lot of cultural similarities which is there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, in eco printing, what is the biggest challenge for you as an entrepreneur, as a person who is promoting slow fashion,
Yeah.
sustainable slow fashion in the world, which is all about fast world, globalization, global value chain. So,
Yeah.
what is the biggest challenge which you face?
When I did the first Ecoprint in 2018 was finding the best leaves of flowers which contains very high tannin. That was not easy. But
Hmm.
once I did experiments and then I noted down and then I just observed that these kinds of leaves provides lots of tannins, then I started to look for the seed, like I planted myself. And then in 2019, 2020, I had my mini garden of leaves and flowers for eco printing. So that natural resources was solved. But the next challenge was to find the what is it to educate customers.
Yeah.
When they first see the fabrics, they will say, oh, this is very beautiful, but then when they see the price, oh my god, this is very expensive, right? So that always happens. So to deal with this, of course, the education start early before they saw the prices. We have to mention. So sometimes I give comparisons. So this is not original silk, this is
Hmm.
silk, this is cotton but feels like silk. Types of different fabric, this is very important so that they can see it. They can have, like, they can feel the difference of the fabric that are used for eco printing. So this kind of things.
So.
The main challenge is uh, eco printing needs to have very special treatment.
Hmm.
It's not just eco printing. All of the natural fabrics needs a special treatment. Say for example, you cannot dry it under the sunlight exposure. You cannot
Oh,
use the detergent if you want to wash it. You can just use the softener. That's it. You cannot
use
wash
any
it
hard
using the,
chemical.
yeah, you cannot wash it using the washing machine. So this kind of things, if you do not want to be bothered with all of this, then you don't buy the Ecoprint, batik, or any other things which is used the hand painted. You see,
I
so that's the
understand.
challenge.
So I'm sure a lot of people will see this video, and a lot of people will be interested in buying eco printing, eco
Oh, good.
material.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where does one, like, if a consumer who is interested, if a person, let's say if I'm interested and I want to buy this eco printed slow fashion clothes, how, where can I get it? Is there any place,
Uh, yeah. So
website
in
or anything?
Indonesia, we haven't built any marketplace specifically for EcoPrint products. But if you have the keyword of EcoPrint Indonesia, you'll find lots of online shop that offers that eco printing. Or you
Hmm.
can go to some website, like I have a website lemospress.com, where you can see of my product, or just search on the Instagram using the hashtag EcoPrint Indonesia. Then you will find my members in the associations who are selling all their products using the hashtag Ecoprint Indonesia.
So how many people are there in this your association of eco printing?
1,348 to be
Oh,
exact.
that's a huge number.
Yes, from all
So
over Indonesia.
are you seeing this trend anywhere other than Indonesia? Maybe in some
No,
other countries? Oh.
no. The first person who did the eco printing was India Flynn from Australia.
Hmm.
So she now with other friends in Australia also still eco printing, but the overseas eco printers have already acknowledged that Indonesia has the biggest number of eco printers. We have
Yeah.
very massive events annually.
Okay. So
Mhm.
do you plan on spreading this unique thing you have with other countries?
Other countries, yeah. This year I went to Melbourne, Australia. I spread the virus of EcoPrint in there, and hopefully next year I can go to other countries, and then I can spread the vibes of EcoPrinting.
So, so just like, what advice do you have for aspiring eco-friendly fashion designer who wants to, like, who wants to join this revolution, make a positive impact on the environment through their work? What? Yeah.
First of all, I have also some communities of designers. First thing first that needs to be highlighted is we have to have one visions that we want to make a difference. It's not all about how, it's also how impactful our clothes will be later. If we design something which is very beautiful, but it turns out that the design, the fabric that we use, and also behind these designs, there are some, tailors, some workers, they aren't really well paid, then
Hmm.
it's not something, that we're looking for. So in our eco-friendly fashion designs, we are encourage people, planet, product, and profit. So with the people, we have to be beneficial for our society. Like when I'm doing Ecoprint, I empowered women in my area, right? Women to help us making the Ecoprint. And
Hmm.
then planet, we have to be aware that if we keep using the chemical substances in our fabrics, then at the end of the day, we're gonna see our earth, not happy with this. And then our product needs to have a very standard, we need to be very selective in choosing the fabrics. We need to be selective in using the, for example, button. In my
Hmm.
eco print fabrics, we don't use the plastic button, we use the wooden button, things
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, concern. And the profit, so the profit, because we calculate the cost production, so the workers, they are helping us in sewing, in printing, they need to be paid very fair.
So people, planet, profit,
Product and profit.
and product. Oh, okay.
Yes.
It's four piece. Four
Four
piece.
piece.
To, okay. So is there any course? Is there any course available which somebody who wants to start the eco printing can do or learn from anywhere?
Yeah, I have done some online eco printing workshop
Hmm.
using this Zoom video conference or any other platforms. Well, actually, you can always contact me if you want also. Like for example, a female eco printers to be the trainers, then I can look for female eco printers. Or if you want to learn the eco printers with me, I can also have that. So yeah.
Oh, I see. So to sum up, the entire conversation with you, which we had, is very interesting. So I think we have four P's to take forward,
Hmm.
which is to ensure that we have a slow fashion,
Yeah.
something not for us but for the planet.
Yeah.
So thank you, Puthut, for this lovely interaction we had. We look forward.
You're
So,
welcome.
so for more such content, please do check our channel. Thank you.